All right, let's talk NXT bets. Yeah, normally we have Clinton Fowler doing this. He's not available this weekend because he's moving. So this is cool. I get an excuse to talk to James Stewart, which is always fun. We'll be hanging out again this weekend at MetLife Stadium in New Jersey as well. This is really interesting, like really, really interesting. I'm going to put you on the spot here. Head to head, Cooper Webb, Chase Sexton, and look at the numbers. Identical. Again, this is early in the week. It might change as we get closer to race day, but the odds are identical to try to pick who would beat who head to head. So like I said, I'm putting you on the spot, James. Who would you pick? It's so close.
Well, the odds makers aren't lying when they say these boys are even, and especially after last weekend, you had Chase Sexton basically having a bounce back ride, something that he needed to do coming off of what happened that weekend in that mud debacle, and then the weekend prior to Seattle. You knew Chase had to come out, and as we talked about on the broadcast, he does his most damage on the last 5 races. So this one is a head-to-head. I will say this, a pick 'em. You heard Cooper Webb on the podium. He wasn't too happy, so we're gonna have to figure out, you gotta add a little bit of that in there. And if I gotta pick somebody, I think I'm gonna lean towards the number 2 this weekend, ironically.
Okay, the next stat we're going to look at here, this is cool. This is Aaron Plessinger. Based on positions, it's a 3.5, which means he's going to podium or not finish on the podium. That's what that would equate to. What are you thinking for the Cowboy? Is podium a smart move or maybe not?
Well, AP, I actually thought he had a win in him last weekend, the way he was riding it. And usually when guys come up, and AP's been riding really good, Aaron Plessinger, he's been riding really good the last few weeks. So it's no surprise. And we can go back to last year, he was leading the points at one time. But usually when a guy wins a mud race and they come to a dry one, you're like, all right, well, maybe that was just a mud. Well, AP bounced back and he passed the champ, Cooper Webb, the guy who's leading the points. So he's kind of due one, and coming into this weekend, I think that momentum, I ran into Aaron in the airport, and he kind of said the same thing, like, man, he kind of lost one. So look back for AP to maybe bounce back and not only just end up on the podium, but possibly a win. So yes, I'm going over. I actually think AP will be on the podium this weekend and might be for a win.
And we just want to mention that head-to-head we were talking about earlier with Sexton and Webb. It doesn't matter where they finish. It's just against each other. Even second and third is head-to-head if a guy like Plessinger to get the win this weekend. So even the odds makers know it's pretty tight right now, James, isn't it? It's pretty fun.
It's tight. I can't wait for this weekend.
As for watching it, this is another day race, a live NBC window. You can watch the racing at 3 o'clock Eastern time on Saturday. Race day live qualifying coverage begins at 9:30 a.m. on Saturday. And for you international fans out there, we're going to give you a test ride of the SMX Video Pass. This is available in about 150 plus countries outside the United States. Go to supermotocross.tv and they'll let you try it for a week so you can see what it would be like to watch a race live. Here in the United States, that happens on Peacock. But tell your friends, or maybe you're someone that just watches the highlights and wants to see the real deal. This is your chance to do it. Supermotocross.tv outside the United States. As for us, we're both headed there. We can't rule out the weather. It is another open-air stadium, and it is in the Northeast, and it is the springtime. Ask us how we know. We've just dealt with this. But I'm just really looking for, to me, the pressure is just going to keep rising with each round, especially in that 250 East division. And a lot of times that leads to more surprises and more chaos.
Yeah, it just feels like we're wound up tight. And eventually, when you're wound up this tight, something's going to break, right? The points are going to swing wildly one way or another. They typically do. But we're going to be there to witness, and everybody that tunes in on whether it's Peacock or NBC, you're going to get to see it as well.
Hi, folks. Lee Diffie from NBC Sports here. If you truly enjoyed what you just watched, you can get more news, interviews, and highlights by subscribing to the Motorsports on NBC YouTube page. You can get it all, so go for it.